Good morning, QC managers, and welcome. My name's Renee,
My name's Greg.
and we want to welcome you to the QC Collective. Today, we're going to talk about the importance of pictures on site and the very important aspect of screening pictures before you pass them on to clients and others for their use. Big lesson learned for me. When I first started managing a large corporate QC department for a general contractor, we had a QC on a project that was doing a large hard stand. And they took pictures of the hard stand being placed, and the client just wanted pictures to put in their daily report. And that's a very typical request that we get. And they snapped a couple pictures, emailed them over, didn't think anything about it. Well, weeks later, someone farther up in that client's hierarchy found the pictures and noticed that some of the dowels had not been placed per spec, and that an awful lot of that support system wasn't being put in properly for that hard stand. What that ended up meaning for that general contractor was hours and hours in meetings and testimonials and combing back through pictures. Ended up having to do an awful lot of x-ray of that slab, and in the end, the only thing the only option besides ripping out that entire hard stand was to slap a 10-year warranty on it. So that is very painful. That is extremely painful as a general contractor to go through that. And ever since then, we have been very cautious of our pictures and screening them before we give them to clients. I have also had GCs ask us to place QCs on their site, and they have seen this bite them not just with quality of work going in, but safety. So they'll take a picture of a window showing that it was properly installed and the carpenter next to them is not properly using a ladder. Or they take a picture of a gauge for a test and they get a plumber in the back without a hard hat on. And so they get slapped for that. So there's a lot that goes into screening pictures. Definitely don't want to discourage QCs from taking pictures. In a second, Greg's going to talk about how important they are at all the different stages. But it's very important that you screen them. In my general contracting company, I make all the pictures go through me before they go out because it's that important to me personally. So I do screen them before we transmit them to clients. But you as a QC are more than capable of looking at a picture and making sure that you're not showing any other defects and no safeties, no concerns, no trip hazards in them. So pretty important.
And you're probably thinking, well, my owner doesn't have time to review thousands of pictures
And I
that
get
I'm
it.
going to send them. She's very understanding. She realizes that it's thousands of pictures
Yeah.
and it's time out of her busy day to do that. But it could also mean that
So much money.
there's a safety incident or a installation error that is her judgment call.
Right. That's
As
just
an
how I
owner,
handle it.
that is you. This is your project that you're handling as the quality control manager. It's your team, but it's not your money. And
Right.
we do that as a requirement. It's a requirement to do that.
Right, but pictures are important, right? Before you have an in-wall close up, when you're doing in-wall inspections, that's documentation that the backing was in there, right? For all of this stuff that you hang on the walls in a bathroom, for instance, right? That's the proof that that test on the gauge really did show this at this time and this at this time when you took the test off. Because 9 times out of 10, your client's not going to make test sign on and test takeoff. Cathodic protection, those pictures with the clipboards with the nodes numbered and the day that you inspected them before they get covered up and compacted. Very important. I mean, we could talk on and on and on. Form inspections, right? That's another thing. Building in the world that we are in, we cover things up as we go. And once we cover up, we have no documentation of what was there without a picture. So QC's pictures are extremely important. We also work on a lot of federal sites where pictures are restricted. We're not allowed to have a camera, or we have to ask a client to take the picture, or we have to have our pictures screened by security before we can even get them to screen them to give them to others. So we understand there can be a lot of layers to the picture onion. They are very, very important. Please don't get discouraged about taking pictures. Just please screen them before you pass them on to make sure that you're not going to create more work and troubles for you and your project team.
Yeah, pictures are very important. That's part of our standard gear that we equip all of our
It
QCs
is.
with. It's our standard gear for each QC to wear. Put in their breast pocket of their safety vest. When I go out and on a job site, I've always got a camera with me. I'm always taking pictures.
Absolutely.
Some days I take 5 pictures. Some days I take 250. It really depends, right?
Yeah.
But screening those pictures, like Renee had said, some job sites don't allow them. Some job sites you got to have somebody else take them. Some job sites you got to get the camera pass and you got to get them vetted out through security. They don't care what's in the picture. They just care that there's no sensitive information.
Right.
So once you get
Right.
back from them, send them to your ownership. Send
Yep.
them who's responsible.
And
for
nobody
reviewing
has
those.
time to set up. We're not saying you have time with a selfie stick, right? To go be taking like social media like post shots every single day. And oh, Joe, step back because I don't know that those boots are the right boots for PPE on this site. No, you're just gonna go and snap the pictures you need to snap and have them all, and then just screen them and pick and choose what you send on to clients if you're requested to send them on. And if you're not, don't give anybody more rope to hang yourself. Keep those in your files for your documentation for you and your general contractor.
Yep. A lot of us are using not a camera, but a camera on your phone. Those are really easy to send because you can boom right from your phone, right? Email them to your ownership or whatever for review.
Blow those up, check them out.
Yeah, got to look at them, make sure they're right.
Absolutely. All right. We hope that this has been helpful. If it has, give us a like down below. Follow us for more future tips. And we hope you guys have a wonderful day.
Have a fantastic day.